Good morning, everybody. Before we get started planting corn today, we got a hydraulic hose that we need to change out. It's got a small pinhole right there. Small pinhole in the hose. So anybody that's familiar with these John Deere 7012 rows probably remember when these aftermarket hydraulic folding markers came out for them. Nice thing about these markers is anybody that's ever planted with one of these planters that don't have them, that marker stands straight up and the arm swings out a little bit. Well, that's bad when you're going along a fence row or along a tree line or a woods, because your marker can get caught on a tree limb. Plus, it's nice you can fold them over, so if you're putting in a real low building, you can back the planter in and the markers will be shorter so you're not hitting your ceiling in your building. Well, in order to fix that hose, I had to take all the bolts out. I'm going to have to unfold the marker. I'm going to have to pull the cylinder out of the tube so that I can get to where the hose is attached on the cylinder and take the hose out that I need and go get a new hose made. So I've already got all the bolts out. So now I'm going to back the tractor up over here so I can pull that marker out of that tube and see what we got going on. So I'm going to get in the tractor now and back it up a little bit, and then we'll jerk that out of the tube and see what we got going on. Well, I forgot to mention that there are two bolts in here that you have to take out. One there and one there, and then it slides apart. I kind of forgot about those. But we got it slid apart, pulled it out with my truck, and you can see the cylinder inside the tube. So now we got a new hose to put on it. And we're going to put it back together, and Dad can go back to planting corn here in a little bit. And then I'm going to go try to plant some beans the rest of the day, I guess. Well, it's all put back together, ready to go again. And it works. Yep, everything works. Perfect. Dad's going to start planting again, so we're transferring what liquid fertilizer is left in the tanker into the planter, and then I'm going to head to CFS and get another 24,000 pounds of fertilizer. So that'll be enough fertilizer to probably finish out our season of planting corn. So we're going to see how much ground we can get over. We got some high sand we're going to go plant next. That's no-till. So with all the rain that we got, that still should be firm enough to plant. So we're going to get this planter filled, and I'm going to head to CFS and get some more fertilizer, and then get Dad going, and I'm going to go try to finish planting some beans today. We're on our way to CFS now to pick us up a load of fertilizer. Kind of got semi stuck on the way out. Had to pull it out with the loader, but we're on the road now. Got me a full load of fertilizer. Now we're heading back to the field. Gonna top Dad off with fertilizer and help him put some seed in. And then I'm gonna head up back to Bass Lake, and I'm gonna try to knock the beans out that I've got out there that I want to get planted, get those knocked out, and get on to another farm. So we'll see what happens. We're going to give it a shot, see how it goes. We got about 1.5 inches of rain out here, so I'm just going down to where I bailed out. Gonna drop in and start planting again and see what happens. So it feels a hair squishy, but I think it might just go, so we'll see what's going to happen. Well, got this farm all done. Got through the wet ground. It wasn't too wet, like I was really surprised. Went over to Dad's Strength's house, and they gave me a popsicle. That was so nice of them. So anyways, we're going to pack our shit up, and we're going to head up to the next farm and get some more beans planted today. So we'll see how this goes. Should be easy because the next farm is no-till. And it's pretty sandy. Got the radio on a little too loud in here. So Well, I'm going to take off and get there, and Mom's going to take me back to my truck so I can run to the farm, get some more seed, and then we're going to get back to planting. We're on the road to our next field that we're going to plant, but we got to go over about 3/4 of a mile to the west, and then we can head back to the south because there's a hole in the middle of Stark County called Bass Lake that everybody seems to like to flock around, and there's no good way of getting around it with a tractor, so we got to go over a little bit and then straight back to the south to get to our next farm. A little fun fact about Bass Lake, Indiana is Bass Lake is where the writer for the movie Wizard of Oz actually wrote the script, I guess you would call it, for the movie Wizard of Oz, and I guess the book. So I'm not quite sure what year that was, but that was all written here in Indiana at Bass Lake, is what I've read from history. So pretty cool fun fact about Bass Lake. It is a nice lake, I guess. There's a lot of beautiful houses around it. I'm just not a lake person, so it really doesn't do anything for me. So but anyways, we're going to continue on our road trip, and it's going to take us about 20 more minutes of driving to get to where we're going. So, I got a lake person behind me. They can follow me. We're almost 35. So anyways, we're going to keep going and show you the farm when we get there. So if we look to our left, there's beautiful Bass Lake over there behind this woods, but you can't really see it because of all the trees. But if you look over here, we have the Melody Drive-In, which is a pretty fun place to go. I hear there's not very many functional drive-ins anymore in the United States. And this is actually a very well-maintained, very nice family-owned drive-in. They play about 4 movies a night all summer long. Oh, there's a better picture of Bass Lake over there. That's the marina and the Finger Hut Bakery area, and there's a bait shop right there. This is on the south side of the lake. All pretty nice places right there. But yeah, we got the drive-in over here. Real nice place to go. I used to go there a lot when I was a kid in high school and stuff. I don't really go and do that kind of thing that much anymore. I might go there once this summer. We'll see how things go. But they've got some of the best breadsticks you can get your mouth on. And they got a lot of other good foods too. But cool place to check out, Melody Drive-In, if you're ever bored. There's actually people waiting to get in line already to go to the drive-in. It's not even that late yet today. Huh. It ain't gonna get dark for another like 4 or 5 hours. Must be gonna just camp out at the drive-in or something. I don't know. Crazy people. I've never went there that early before. Well, we are all coming out of lockdown now, out of the quarantine. So I guess maybe they think they're gonna be busy real fast and they want to get in before anybody else gets there. So that's just a few attractions of Stark County, that Bass Lake and Melody Drive-In. So if you're ever passing through Stark County, check out the lake or check out the drive-in or come to the town of Knox. We got some pretty good places to eat, like Downtown Depot, Christo's, the Country Kettle, Mama's Pizzeria is pretty good. We got Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, Burger King, McDonald's. We got all those too. All of B&K Drive-In. Oh, that's like one of our favorite places to go eat. But anyways, that's enough of me talking for now. We're about 8 minutes from the farm that we're going to. So we're gonna get in, get unbolted. Mom's gonna pick me up. She's actually following me right now. She's gonna take me back from my truck, and I'm gonna go get seed tender and some seed. So then we're going to get back to planting. What I do to clean the auger out is I hang a bucket on the end and I run some clean beans through it, and then I'll get the beans out of the bucket. I'll just sling them out on the field and the planter will work them in so they're not really wasted. So it works pretty good. At least it gets the auger cleaned out so I don't have any trouble later. Well, we're getting this no-till knocked out now. Everything is going real good. I was kind of worried about those few wet beans that got in the hopper, but they've done passed through, so we're past that point. There was a little bit of water in my auger, and I know it got some of the beans wet, so I've got to plant this load out tonight. I got to make sure they're out of this planter, because if there's any moisture at all, everybody knows what happens. They start swelling up, they might sprout. So I'm going to stick with it tonight and get this load planted off. I've got this field to go. I got that field over there done. So I should be able to get rid of these pretty quick, getting these end rows done and out of the way, so I can really get into these long rows here and burn up some of these beans pretty quick. So anyways, I think I'm going to end this episode right here. I'm just going to be planting for another, probably another 2 hours. By the time I move to the next farm, it's going to be no-till too. So I had a question. A viewer asked me about carbon in our soil, if it's increasing or decreasing. So I talked to our crop fertility specialist today when I was getting starter fertilizer for Dad earlier, and he told me that no-till ground is the best way to really build carbon in your soil. Carbon is actually the backbone of the soil structure, and when we do tillage work, we lose that carbon by doing tillage work, but we don't lose it in that large of amount. So our carbon's not really decreasing, it is increasing, especially on a no-till ground, but carbon really isn't too much of an issue to really be worrying too much about. I mean, yes, the plant uses it, but I mean, it's such a minimal issue that it's not really a big deal. So, but yes, on no-till ground, your carbon does increase, and it decreases a little bit in tilled ground, especially if you're susceptible to erosion, such as wind erosion, because that carbon will actually blow away in the wind with your stock material, because your plant materials are what makes the carbon. So if it's blowing away, you're losing carbon. But that only happens in wide open country. Like, as you can see around here, we got plenty of windbreak, we got plenty of trees. You go up into LaPorte County, which is north of us, that's all wide open up there. And when it gets windy, real estate starts to move. And so yes, you're going to lose carbon in that way. So I hope that kind of answers your question. That's the way I kind of understood it. You'd think, being a farmer, I'd know that, but like the guy I talked to today, he's like, there's so much stuff to soil science that he said you can't remember all of it on the top of your head. It's just impossible. So, and he's a very, very, very knowledgeable guy. I trust his word on anything. And he told me, he's like, I can't remember everything. He's like, I learned all this in college, and he said it's hard to retain all that knowledge and keep it all in your head on top of everything else. I can understand that, really. So he's like, even I got to refer to a textbook once in a while just to refresh in my memory. And that's all of us. We're not all Einsteins. We can't remember everything. But anyways, thanks for watching this episode of Dirt, Gray, and Steel. I greatly appreciate it. If you like this, give me a like and subscribe. I appreciate those too. And I appreciate everybody's support for my channel. And I just want to thank everybody. We're on our way to 300. We're at 250 now on subscribers, but we're on our way to 300. So thank you everyone for the support. I never thought that this would take off like it has. Well, it hasn't really went crazy, but I feel like people are enjoying my stuff. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.